Welcome to Let Me Be Frank, Mike. I'm Mike, here with Frank.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Afternoon. Interesting week last week. If you guys read our comments Saturday night, I ended up only having one play. It was the Lions. Came through for me. Our Dakota Dog of the Week, though, came through. Our teaser came through, too. So, not bad. That's 2 weeks in a row. Frank, not the greatest week for you.
No, I took Seattle last week, as everybody knows, and I was definitely high on Seattle last week. And I watched that game. I actually woke up early in the morning to watch that game.
That's a surprise.
And I saw Geno Smith fumble the ball on the 10-yard line, and that would have made it 14-10. I know I shouldn't be whining. Just as a if I could have, would have game. I think momentum would have been more my way. But as we all know, and we talked about this earlier, I am the juice man. I got it at 4.5.
And lost by a half.
And I lost by a half.
And paid the juice.
And I paid the juice. That's the danger about on the laws of probability. If you keep losing those, that you're going to need 60% to break out.
You hit
52%.
Hit every single one of them, you know.
Exactly. Well, not every one of them.
Worst case scenario. I'm saying that
that's
game.
That's true.
So. But it's a new week, Frank. It's new.
I'm ready.
You know?
I'm ready. I got some more. I got a little more picks than I usually have.
Okay. Well, let's just get right into it, huh? Yeah, you have a lot of picks this week, surprisingly. Yeah. Usually, I'm the guy that's throwing all sorts of kind of stuff out there. But
yeah, I like to stick with one or two and just pay the juice and get those lines under the numbers. But and I'll be honest with you, I really don't have much. Just why I like so many of these games. Let's just start. I like the Jets. They're getting 3.5 still. I wouldn't, if it falls down to 3, I don't think I would take the game. I like that hook. I might even buy it up a half to get them to 4.
And I don't like the Jets because the Patriots are actually a play of mine. So this sounds like a little bit of a side bet going on.
Could be a side bet here. I can see it coming.
Listen, I like the Patriots, Frank, because we already saw these two teams play. I know usually we harp on.
It was a close game, though, too, wasn't it?
It wasn't that close. No.
Just come back.
Yeah, the Jets kind of came back there at the end. But listen, here's why I like the Patriots. Zach Wilson's terrible. He's worse than Carson Wentz. He probably needs to get benched for Joe Flacco. They just need to go a different direction. He's not good. And this last time that he played the Patriots, he threw for 3 picks. And in every game that he's played the Patriots, which is 2.5 games because he got knocked out of one, 7 picks in 2.5 games. And this Patriots defense is not going to let up. They're coming off the bye. They're even healthier than they were before the bye.
Defense is good. They are good. But I'm going to go with the Jets defense on this to shut them down.
The Jets defense is good. It might be a look at the under because neither of these offenses are very high-powered. But I like the Patriots here. I like them a lot. They're probably my favorite play this week because I don't like a whole hell of a ton this week.
Now you're starting to scare me, but I'm not getting off the Jets. I got the hook. I think it's going to be close. I think Jets beat them because New England won the first one. I think it's going to be a split.
Are we going to put a little side bet here on this, Frank?
Well, I'm in.
We almost put a side bet on that Bears-Lions game, but
wow, yeah,
ended up not doing it.
No, we did not.
But okay, we'll figure out some kind of side bet, Frank, and then we'll throw it in the comments when we throw out our official picks. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Frank. Next pick for you.
Cincinnati. Last year Cincinnati was just unbeatable. They just they crushed Pittsburgh twice, and then they played Pittsburgh the first week, and man, that line just moved like crazy because everybody played Pittsburgh that first game because it was a comeback. Pittsburgh wasn't going to lose 3 in a row. It's a divisional game. That was, I think, one of our best bets in the first week.
It was definitely. I hammered
it.
And
Pittsburgh, basically, the score does not tell the tale in that game.
It doesn't. They were in control. Watt goes down.
Yeah, and
they seemed to lost a step or something there.
But I think this time Cincinnati, I think they've won the last 4 against the spread, and they found their game. And they're ready to play, and I just don't think Pittsburgh can take him twice.
They're coming off a bye, too, which is a perk. It is at Pittsburgh. I don't hate the pick, Frank, but I definitely wouldn't play either side. And honestly, if I had to choose a side, I'd probably choose Pittsburgh. They're at home. Tough divisional game. I mean, Frank, I don't want to dishearten you, but
I swear you're coming at me on 2 games already.
I mean, I'm just saying that, one of them I have a play on, the other one I'm not so hot about.
There you go.
What?
I can't wait till the next pick.
Well, Watt's back now. Fitzpatrick's back. Pickett seems to be more comfortable in the offense. He had a pretty good week last week. I know it was the Saints, but
and you still got that Pittsburgh defense. I mean, I'll give you some credit, but I just don't. Again, the NFL has just been so crazy this year.
I know.
And look at these lines: 3 points, 7. 4, my God, they're very low. Never seen points like this. What's our biggest point spread over here? 12.5 with Baltimore. And these big lines ain't covering. Look at Washington with 11 points last night. Jeez.
I mean, yeah, I told you since the beginning of the week, Frank, that I don't like laying those big numbers. Just not. I mean, not in today's NFL. I just think that definitely not in divisional games. I was very surprised that line was so high last night. But, I mean, let's move on to your next pick, Frank. I promise to go a little bit easier on you the rest of the show. I know you had a tough weekend.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better. We're gonna go,
we can only hope.
We're going to go 4 for 4 this week.
Hopefully.
I'm positive. I like my Jets. I like my Cincy. Okay, we're going with Dallas. Why am I going with the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, tell me,
Minus
Frank.
1.5 in Minnesota. Minnesota is one of those teams they can't go wrong this year. That Buffalo game was, that was just like watching a ball go back and forth.
It was fun to watch, though.
It was a great game to watch. I like Dallas. I've been a Dallas guy all year. Minus 1.5, the line is low. Minnesota coming off a big win against Buffalo. But I don't think it's going to make any difference coming off that big win or anything like that. But I think Dallas at minus 1.5 is a good line for Dallas.
You know what? I said I'd go easy on you, Frank. I really did. I said I would.
And I guess you're not. You're going to go with that Minnesota team.
No, actually.
You and that Cousins guy.
No, actually, I do love Kirk Cousins. He's a Michigan State man. I'm a Michigan fan myself, but I mean,
I'm sorry.
Represent, go green. But the point is that
you were a crossover in Ohio, you're a dead man.
I don't really have an opinion on this game, to be honest with you, Frank. I mean, if you want to take the Cowboys, sure. If you want to take the Vikings, sure. I mean, it seems like kind of a toss-up to me. But I will say one thing that I think is in your favor, Frank, is I think that you might be in a good position to capitalize on that huge win for the Vikings, very emotional win. So I think that, maybe, this might be a little bit of a letdown spot. But the Cowboys do have the Giants next week, so it also could be a look-ahead spot. So I don't know how much the situation plays into your hands, but, I mean, you do love the Cowboys, and sometimes you just got to go with your gut. I mean, we say that all the time. Sometimes you just have to go with your gut, and that's okay, Frank. It just seems like a hard game to pick,
All right. I'll give you your opinion. Don't like your opinions today.
I mean, listen, Frank, can't win them all,
Okay, now you're going to love this. Okay, I'm a Giants fan. I like the Giants. Giants are my team this year. I'd like to see them go far. I'm going, look at this, I got Giants minus 6. You have it minus 4, and they're laying 3.
Yeah, they're laying 3 now. I think it opened at 3.5, but now it's down to 3.
So, and you are a Detroit fan.
Oh, yeah, baby. All day, every day. We're on a 2-game win streak. Not 1, but 2.
Yeah, and you better be on a 3 because I'm going to buy up to 4. The juice man's going to pay the juice. I want to get that 4 points at least. It's in New York. But here is why I'm going Detroit.
Tell me, Frank.
Tell me. I'm going to tell you right now. Giants are playing at Dallas next week.
I just brought that up. That's true.
And that they probably had this game on the calendar since they went 6-1. They're like, hey, look what we got. We're 6-1. We got shot. We got to beat Dallas. We got to beat Philadelphia.
I wonder what the look-ahead line is there, Frank, because to be honest with you, that might be It might be smart. It might be smart to fade the Giants this week and play them next week. I mean, I have no idea what the line is.
Oh, I totally agree with playing Giants next week.
But I can't give you any crap for this pick, Frank, because you're picking my boys. You're giving them some love, Hey, I gave them love the past 2 weeks, and they pulled it out for me. So,
folks, one thing too. Again, check our comment section on Saturday, because I still want to make sure if Swift's not playing, then I'm taking this game off the board.
Yeah, I think he'll play.
Because I watched Houston run against the Giants. I've watched Seattle run against the Giants. They're just not very good against the run.
Tell us how you feel, Frank. Really, just lay it all out there.
I'm an angry man.
I know
I'm going 4 for 4 this week.
To be honest with you, neither Frank nor I had a good weekend this weekend, but. You live and you learn. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
And I got. How about last night?
You made a little bit of it back.
Yeah, I was going to bet Washington on the money line, but I didn't get up there to the casino and do it.
I want to pull up the lines for next week because FanDuel will come out with them a week early. +7 for the Giants.
You got the lines for next week?
Yeah, they're up here already at FanDuel.
We were just talking about that the other day. We were talking about whether. We can get the lines up today for following week. That's a good thing for us.
+7 for the Giants. Interesting.
Oh, I'll take that 7.
Yeah, so will I.
Yeah. Easy.
It'll probably be a pick. Little prelude for next week. But anyway, Frank.
I'll have to bet it early because we'll take those lines down.
Well, also it's, that's a Thursday night game because of Thanksgiving's next week. Happy Turkey Day, ladies and gentlemen.
The Giants and Dallas on Thanksgiving Day?
Oh, yeah. Buffalo Lions, Giants, Dallas, Patriots, Vikings.
I have to take my daughter and my grandkids out for Thanksgiving. I might have to get some duct tape for those grandkids, and I don't know.
Okay, Frank.
I'm not going to miss that game.
Well,
go ahead.
You know what? I think we got a little bit off track.
Yes, we did.
I love talking, but listen. Okay, back to – go ahead.
I do want to – I want to ask you a question before we get into your picks.
Shoot your shot, Frank.
The Chargers in Kansas. We do use the Mark Lawrence playbook, if I can put it up here. And we wrote all our schedule for the San Diego Chargers in the beginning of the year. And I remember the Kansas City game in the beginning. I think we both marked it San Diego as a loss, which they did lose, but they covered the spread. And now they're playing again, which, believe it or not, Kansas City is 8-1 at the Chargers.
It's interesting.
And they're
come on, Frank.
Away
words.
3-1. Well, I just want to know what you think about this game.
Listen, Frank, why don't you just come out and say that? Okay, what I think of this game.
What do you think of this game?
I think of this game.
Then I'm going to tell you what I think of this game.
Okay, well, what I think of this game is if I had to pick a side, I'm taking the Chargers. The line's already been bet from 7 to 6.5, at least on FanDuel. I like them at the 7. 6.5, I'm not so sure. I mean, this Chiefs team looks great, don't get me wrong, and the Chargers have a lot of injury issues, and we'll see if any of those get cleared up by the time this game kicks off. But the Chargers still have a very solid defense and a very solid offense. I mean, all they really need is Eckler, and they'll be just fine. So if I have to pick a side here, I'm taking the Chargers, plus the 7, plus the 6.5, whatever you get in your books.
Buy it up. And we both had it at -4.5, so the line would be definitely in our favor. Because football has just been totally crazy this year, I'm going to go with the Chargers this week.
Wow, that's a lot of in-depth analysis there, Frank.
Yeah, that's a lean. I mean, I did my 4 picks. So, all right, that was the only one I wanted.
Okay, well, let me get to my picks.
Right,
Gosh, darn it. I want to talk, Frank. I'm selfish. Anyway, so here's what I got. I'll kick it off with the lean. Washington. I know, it's gross. They're coming off a big win. That's why it's a lean. I liked them before Monday night. Then they beat the Philly at Philly. It just seems like this is a letdown spot against a terrible Houston team. But because they're playing a terrible Houston team and they're only have to lay 2.5 or 3 at some books, depending on when you get it. I like this Commanders team. I hated them in the beginning of the year because of Wentz, but Heineke I think is an upgrade, and I like kind of the direction that they're going. So,
and they're playing for him.
So I'm going to have to see a little bit more, and like Frank said, check out our comments on Saturday. for our official picks. But I like this Washington team, but I'm a little bit concerned about this letdown spot. But my 2 plays, which I just want to preface this, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing I love on this board. It's probably going to be looking like kind of like last week, a sit back, maybe 1 play, 2 play. But like I said, check out the comments. So my 2 plays are going to be Cleveland and New England. Now, let me tell you about this Cleveland pick. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, that's gross, Cleveland plus 8.5 at Buffalo. But there's going to be 30 inches, the weather forecast, which this is why we have to wait till later in the week. It's supposed to have up to 30 inches of snow in Buffalo. And they're not going to be able to pass the ball all that well. They're not going to be able to come out of their breaks all that well. And when it comes down to it, the Bills' offense rushing over the Browns' offense rushing, I think it's pretty clear that the Browns have a huge advantage. So in 30 inches of snow, if you're going to give me a rushing offense of the Browns, I'll take it every day of the week and 4 times on Sunday. So I love the Browns getting 8.5 here. It's already been bet down. I love taking big point spreads when the total's so low, and the total's down to 43 here. So that's 1 play. And then, like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking these Patriots against Frank. But listen, Frank, it's nothing personal.
Enough. It's a side bet.
It's nothing personal. I'm all over it. I'm all over it.
I don't think any of our games are personal.
It's just, this Patriots defense is stout. I think it's better than the Jets defense, and I think their offense is better than the Jets offense. Zach Wilson is terrible. So bad. So
I don't see him being bad. I've seen him coming through in every game at the end, making passes, hitting Wilson.
Okay, Frank.
Run game.
We get it. It's not going to happen. It's fine.
It's going to hurt you.
Whatever you say, Frank. Whatever you say. But anyway, I think that's it, other than our Dakota Dog of the Week and Teaser of the Week, which we've hit 2 weeks in a row, ladies and gentlemen. So let's kick it off, Frank. Who do you got for Dakota?
I'm going against your Washington. I'm going with Houston.
Yeah, that pick's gross, but I mean, there's not much on the board.
It's ugly, but why is the line only 3 coming off a big win on a Monday night? Everybody's going to be jumping on Washington. They're saying, wow, look, it's a great team. They're coming back. They beat Philadelphia. Oh, and they're looking good. And I feel like it's the same thing. I got sucked into the hype with Seattle, with Tampa. Maybe I got in the hype in that game, but I still think I should have won that game. But I think the line's too low. It's that rat thing going on again. So, anyways, it's with the Dakota Dog, so it's Houston. That's what I'm
going to take Chicago. Chicago at Atlanta. Listen, the Chicago team, to be honest with you, they probably should have won against the Lions, but they didn't, and they didn't cover. But this Chicago team is good. Fields does look good. Atlanta was very unimpressive Thursday night.
Chicago's going to get better and better in the next couple of years.
Yeah. They're definitely on the trajectory towards the moon. So, but then our teaser of the week, I've got Cleveland. I'm going back to my Cleveland well. You're going to give me 14.5 with this Cleveland team. Total of 43. Great running game. Bad weather. It just doesn't play into the Bills' strengths. And then Frank has Frisco on Monday night. He's going to tease it down to 1.5 or 2, depending at the books.
Here I go again. And me and that love for San Francisco. Last week, San Francisco was one of my bets in the beginning of the week.
I know.
And believe it or not, I got a phone call. I called them. Some of my guys they work with in Cleveland, and they looked at. They said, "No, don't." Chargers all the way in that game.
Yeah, the spread seemed a little bit high. I agree with you. I didn't
talk me out of hedging on that because I actually went and bet San Diego, and then you were saying, "Well, you better go hedge that game. Go back with San Francisco."
Well, I think we were.
The reason why I didn't hedge it? The line went to 7.5.
I think we were just concerned with the fact that this is a look-ahead spot for the Chargers.
That's true. That's probably why we're. That's right. That's why we're.
Yeah. And it's just there was a lot of factors in that game, and we were already down on the week and. Did we really want to lose more money? It was just it was a conversation over some chicken wings and some drinks. So, but I think that's it for us, Frank. Everyone, check it out Saturday. Look for our final picks and have a great week. And
yes, and I want to thank John, for our video guy, for doing such a great job.
Yeah, thank you, John. And let's cash some tickets.
Sounds like a plan.